Hello, and welcome to another episode of AJ's Happy Fun Time channel. I don't know why I did that. Stupid. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Just wanted to do this little video here. I was tagged by my buddy Il Pinguino on Instagram for top 9 zombie movies. So I made up a nice little set. And I figured, well, what the shit? May as well do a video on it, too. Little quick one here. Little history on me and zombie movies. Zombie movies in the 80s were the shit. They were awesome. I loved them. Constantly renting horror, and zombies were like the main. Zombies and slashers were like the two main things when I rented when I was a kid. So I'd figure I'd go over 9. You know, there's more. It'll probably change in another few days. So let's start down the list here. I'm gonna do I guess it's in order. I don't know. Who knows? Let's try it anyway. First one, number 9. 1980s, Hell of the Living Dead. I find that as far as zombie movies go, the cheesier the better. Or funny or unintentionally funny, the better. So this is a good one, 1980. Our buddy Bruno Mattei. It's just more of a virus zombie movie, but it's good. It's cheesy as hell. They take like the Goblin score from Dawn of the Dead and use it, and even like the blue SWAT outfits. So zombies are okay looking. It's just cheesy, and like I said, the cheesier the better. So number 9, Hell of the Living Dead, 1980. Check it out. Definitely worth a watch or a buy even. And we go to number 9. Another fun one, Zombie Holocaust, also from 1980, from Marino Girolami. This one, I had seen parts of this in high school. I had a friend, I've mentioned him before, he would tape just gore parts from movies. He didn't really want to sit through a whole movie, so he would tape like the gore parts. And this was the scene where the guy jumps out the window and it's clearly a dummy. And if you weren't sure if it's a dummy or not, when it hits the ground, the arm falls off. Also known as Dr. Butcher, MD, Medical Deviant. So, fun one. Good gore, just Italian splatter cheese goodness. So that's number 8 on my list. Number 7. Whoops. Zombie 3. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole zombie sequels, what's numbered. There's probably, I think there's a good dozen movies. Zombie 3. This was the one from 88, I think it was. I want to say 89. I meant to write it down. The one where Lucio Fulci started directing, and then he claims he directed almost 75% of it, and then people said he had to go. He left because of illness, but then he said it wasn't illness. It was just too much bitching and going on back and forth between, all the upper ups and shit. So, good stuff. Cheesy as all hell. A zombie machete like action sequence and a flying head that very reminiscent of the head from Return of the Living Dead 2, the screwdriver one. Zombie newborns. It's batshit crazy. Definitely one of my. It's just a great one, and that's the soundtrack we're listening to. It came with a soundtrack, and you know how I feel about releases that come with soundtracks. It's awesome, and plus the artwork is one of my favorite artworks. So that's number 7, Zombie 3. Coming in at number 6. Oh, a lot of history here, man. Dead Alive. Over the top gore scenes. 1992, Peter Jackson when he was. I was a huge Peter Jackson fan at first because I saw like Bad Taste, and this came out. I actually saw this in a real little itty bitty teeny tiny theater in Chicago where no shit there was probably 50, maybe 70 people there. I don't know, and the screen wasn't even like a screen. It was like I swear it was like a really big TV. But it was a lot of fun. I followed him for a couple years, and then he did well, originally called Brain Dead, actually. The following the whole lead up to this, it was Brain Dead, and I didn't find out it was renamed until we got to the theater, and they're like, "Oh, seating for dead or alive," starting now. I was like, "What the hell's dead or alive?" I thought we were seeing Brain Dead, but yeah, man, Bad Taste, Dead Alive, Meet the Feebles, and then he did Heavenly Creatures, and I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, well, where's all the gore and all the fun? But this, hilarious fun. I kick ass for the Lord. The whole lawnmower scene, just gross out shit. Some scenes my wife just can't handle. But it's it's a great movie, and hopefully one day we'll get a real nice release of it. But the blockbusters that Peter Jackson has directed since then, it's like, I'm sure it's way, way down the bottom of his to-do list. So, number 6, Peter Jackson's Dead Alive. Number 5, here we go. This is the meat right here. This is where it starts getting. I'm just gonna spoil it now. We're gonna talk Romero trilogy here. Number 5, 1968's Night of the Living Dead. I remember watching this as a kid. It was on TV a lot, and it just the promos would just scare the shit out of me. Awesome, great performances, eerie. They could have, I think, 1968. Yeah, they sure as shit could have shot in color, but the black and white really does it. Definitely one of my faves. You just can't beat it. I had this on. This is the Criterion Collection. I think the exact same Criterion Collection that was on Laserdisc back in the day. Real nice release. Looks beautiful on Blu-ray. But man, classic stuff. Night of the Living Dead, number 5. Coming in at number 4, the Romero, Dawn of the Dead, 1978's Dawn of the Dead. Always a classic. A little put off by the Crayola red blood colors, but it is what it is. Fun movie. Classic for sure. Man, I saw this actually at the theater in 3D when it came out. They put it in 3D last year. They re-released it in 3D. It was great. I'd rather watch a movie that's been out, released a dozen times on VHS, Blu-ray, DVD, than see some remake, redo shit. But the remake of this was pretty damn solid, I will admit. But number 4, Dawn of the Dead, Mr. Romero. Yep. And coming in at number 3, this one, Day of the Dead, the other of Romero's trilogy. One of my faves as a kid, over-the-top gore. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I remember renting it on video, probably a couple of years after it came out. My mom was put off by all the swearing. She's like, "What are you watching?" I said, "Ma, I don't know. I'm sorry. There's all this swearing in here, but watch this zombie lean over the table, and all of his guts fall out." And that was pretty much the end of Mom trying to watch any more of it. But this is a classic for sure. The soundtrack, the Savini effects, our buddy Savini. Day of the Dead, 1985. Great year, man. Great year for horror. And coming in at number 2 on my list, the classic, The Return of the Living Dead. 1985. I remember seeing this on cable as a kid, late at night, laughing my ass off. My parents were asleep. I did not expect to see what I was seeing, and and when this came out, I'm like, well, how does this fit in with night and dawn and day? And the answer is none, not at all. Trioxin, it's a whole different thing. Classic movie. I finally met Linnea Quigley and Tom Matthews 2 years ago, I think it was. And it was great. It's just one of my favorites. It always has been. Comedy, horror, gore, classic lines. Send more cops, and just, oh man, definitely a classic to me. And it comes in number 2, 1985, Dan O'Bannon's Return of the Living Dead. Also, I'll set a link up. Me and my buddy Grande. Another shout out to my buddy John Grande in Grande's Graveyard. We did a episode on this and Zombie. Oh, did I say Zombie? Lucio Fulci Zombie? Yes, I did. I'll put the link up. And my number one, by the way, speak of the devil. Yes, Lucio Fulci Zombie, 1979. Classic, also known as Zombie 2, Zombie Flesh Eaters, Zombie this, Zombie that, Dawn of the Dead 12, whatever you wanted to call it at the time. I remember this was another one that was on that tape that I mentioned earlier my buddy had of kills, and I'm like, what is this movie? He's like, it's this movie, it's called Zombie. He's like, it's okay, but he just wanted a gore. He was a big gore hound, at least back in the day he was. And I found it a few years later, when I used to get cheap video sets at, I don't know what the hell it was, Kmart, Walmart, whoever had it. And it said Zombie, and it had a 2 at the bottom. I go, what is Zombie 2? I'm like, where's part 1? And that's when you get into the whole zombie mythos with part 1 and Dawn of the Dead and all this shit. And it's just, read it. Your head will spin. But my all-time favorite zombie flick, I don't think this one will ever move from number 1, is Lucio Fulci Zombie. And, yeah, that's about it. Just wanted to have a little fun with that. Also, if anyone's interested, this is a nice little handbook to have, Book of the Dead. This is the first one they did, I think. They re-released it, like an updated version. It's got every zombie movie up to 2002, I think. They re-released it though, but not without all these beautiful color pictures, man. But this is a nice book. Definitely worth if you could find it. I ordered the newer one. I was really disappointed because someone posted this. I'm like, where are all the color pictures at? And a couple months later, I went to the used bookstore, and here it was. Like, well, shit. Fuck yeah. And it's beautiful. It's a nice thick book. Book of the Dead. The complete history of zombie cinema up to 2002, like I said. So, yeah, everything you wanted to know about zombies. And it's pretty much all in there. The guy seems to be a little more uptight about it. He's not into like the Italian goofy, cheesy shit like I am. So, I don't know. It's fun. Just want to do this quick little video. As always, do what you want to do. Just don't be a dick about it. And long live horror and metal. Yeah! Thanks for watching.